So first I will go through the screen, and after that you guys can come up with your query.
Okay.
Okay, so this will be our list screen. So the changes what we are doing on this screen is, first of all, we are renaming vendor to vendor spend. In place of vendor, we are going to tell it as vendor spend. And on this screen itself, we are going to show the summary at the top. So the summary which we are talking about are spend YTD, then how many contracts are coming up for renewal in next 90 days, how many vendors having missing data, what is the current spend for this month. So when we say this month, then it is for this particular month, means for November, what is the spend done. If any spend is done, then that amount need to be shown here. And then if any vendor having zero spend, suppose if any of these have the amount is zero, in that scenario it would be zero spend. uh, can someone ping Pinto? Actually, I want him also to be here because there are some table related things are present.
Okay.
The current functionality for upload vendor metadata, that will be as it is. There is no change from here. Still, we are doing the same thing. On this list screen, the columns we are showing are vendor, number of applications. So this is the default view which we are seeing here. Vendor, number of application, total spend, renewal date, vendor status, source. Uh, this will be sources actually. Vendor department. Okay, so the table interactions which are present now is, so Pinto, you can confirm if we are done this one or we are going to do this. So first thing is, on hover, we are going to show the action for that particular row. So if you see for this particular row, what user can do is either they can edit it. Uh, so edit icon is there. On click, it will be the editable row, and other options are quick message and start a workflow. Okay. So for now, start a workflow we are not including, but quick message we are going to include. This is the on hover interaction for column reshuffling, and these are the other columns which are present. So currently in our system we have note. So in place of note, we are going to rename it as pinned note. So we need to add that column here also. These are the all other columns which need to be present for vendor table. So few columns are removed and few are added. So this will be
And
the total number of columns.
yeah, so we are defining the default columns or something like that here,
So
Rakesh.
this is
Or
the default view which you are seeing.
okay.
Along with that, in our system, we provided the functionality to merge the vendor uh, from vendor table, from from different sources. We are giving the availability to merge the vendor. So suppose with Apple vendor, any other vendors are merged. In that scenario, this icon will be shown, and on click of that, we are going to show which vendor are merged from which source and merged by whom. Okay. Now the inline editor part. So on hover, when user clicks on edit, uh, this would be the inline editor screen, and user can directly save or cancel it. Suppose any field is mandatory and the user try to save that one, then we need to show error. If it is a mandatory field, in that scenario only this will be shown. For
Rakesh, wait. It was mandatory, or I mean, we are
yeah,
showing
for
as
missing
a,
data, it is orange color. It- That won't be
okay.
mandatory. That won't be mandatory.
Okay. So currently we don't have any like a mandatory functionality in the in the table.
Yeah, but
We have
no,
yeah, currently we have only like missing fields.
no. So see, when when user is adding a custom field, there we have something called as mandatory. I assume that
Okay.
that is present. So in that
Okay.
scenario, that red color will come.
Okay.
Okay. Now, how user can see the applications present in the system. So when they click on this accordion or this particular link application, they would able to see the nested table part. So these are the application associated to Apple. So these are the columns user would able to see. And for this nested table, user is not going to change the view. Change the view in the sense they want this will be always the default view. They can't uh, add any other column and save it as a new view. That functionality we are not providing. Second thing, user won't be able to share the nested table view. Okay, so these are all the columns for that particular application, and there are other add columns present which will be part of application table. So on application table, whatever columns we are going to show, all those columns will be part of application. Okay, now here when user clicks on download, then what should happen? So ideally what will be happen is it will download two sheets. One sheet where contain the list of vendors, and sheet number 2 will contain all the applications. Okay, now messaging part. So
Wait,
yeah,
Rakesh, I have a question. So, what application will be there?
application list into.
There is like child table, right?
Yeah,
Nested
so
table.
what I'm saying, don't include
How
the
will be, yeah, how will be it, would say, related to each other? I mean,
no
for
relation. That's what I'm saying. We are not going to show the relationship. We will download two separate tables. One second. You need to download the vendor table and the app table, two separate tables. See, this is your vendor table,
okay,
right? This is your vendor table. This is only we are showing currently.
yes.
So when user hit on download, okay, so what we are going to provide the user is this list, means the vendor list, along with the application list. Two sheet 1 contain all the vendors, sheet 2 contain all the applications.
So that means we have to call two different APIs.
Yes,
Okay.
because on excel sheet you won't be able to merge both, because we have around 50 to 60 columns. If we merge both app and vendor, there are around 50 to 60 columns. It would be very hard for the user to read that thing.
Okay.
Now the messaging part. So when user click on messages, so this is the new layout for the messaging. So suppose for currently Amazon is the vendor and AWS is the application associated to that particular vendor. As I am coming from the vendor screen, by default vendor tab is selected. Okay, so all these messages what we are saying are related to vendor only. I can directly click on AWS, then I would able to see all the messages which are related to AWS. And if I click on all, then in that scenario, here I would able to see vendor Amazon or app AWS, like that I would able to see. Okay. If there is any attachment present, so when user click on this particular attachment, they would able to see the attachment name and the size, and if they want to download that particular attachment, they can directly click on download. This particular attachment will be downloaded. one thing we are adding for messaging part is for a particular message. Suppose this is the particular message. So on top of this, as an user, I should able to reply back. So if there any replies are present in that scenario, it will provide in a link state. If there is no reply present, then there won't be any link, but user would able to add a reply. Suppose I click on reply, so I would able to see the latest reply here along with the scroll. I can scroll up and I would able to see all the other four replies which are present. And on top of this reply only, I would able to add my comment if I want. If I hit on attachment, if I want to see all the attachment,
So
yeah, Varun.
yeah, so reply pe reply, reply pe reply.
No, reply पे reply नहीं.
That only you're saying, right? So if I have one, so one this is message,
So
right? It have a reply.
this is your main message. For this only you are adding replies.
Yeah, so for this, right, you have added somebody have already replied.
हाँ.
Then again on that reply, you're saying reply, right? Or is it like Jira where we have only one single list and you just add to the list?
Yeah, we are adding to the list. I mean, this is my main message. On top of this only I'm adding messages.
It is not that somebody have responded on that again you are replying.
No. So see, this is my main reply. For this, four people's already replied. Okay. So now I'm not going to reply for this message. I'm replying for this only. These all the four replies now, these are on one hierarchy.
Yeah, so see, okay, maybe messaging, if you want to take it separate, we can take it separately. But what I'm trying to say is, let's say that Raj sent a message to Ramya, Varun, Ashish, right? And Ashish, Ramya, Varun have responded. Now, whether he'll be sending a reply to Ashish, let's say Ashish has said something and he wants to reply to Ashish or Ramya or Varun, that is a different use case, right?
No, that we are not doing. So, one second, let me give you one example.
So this is messaging override, right? So basically messaging also will come,
No,
this
no,
comes.
उतना complex नहीं करना है. We don't want to do that much complex. Means reply to each and every chat. It like there would be one comment. On that comment only I'm replying that.
Okay, fine, Rakesh.
Okay, so this is
ठीक है,
the
thank you.
list of attachments user would able to see, and on hover, so either they can download all the attachment in a single go from here, or else on hover we will show the download icon. Okay, so till now it is all related to the list screen of vendor. And anyone have any query to the list screen?
So, Rakesh, why did we remove the number of paying vendors from the top?
Ask Nidhi. I don't remember. She asked to remove, so I removed that.
Okay.
Right. Any other query for list screen?
तो राकेश उसमें जो मैसेज जिसका बात है उसमें एप्लीकेशन ये AWS नंबर ऑफ एप्लीकेशन है तो बहुत ज़्यादा एप्लीकेशन होगी तो
हाँ, वो सिनेरियो है आगे में मैं दिखा रहा हूँ.
ओके
Okay. So when user click on any of the application page, they are going to navigate to this particular screen. So this is the main page for that particular vendor. So on the vendor page, we are going to show these details. Means what is the total spent in last 12 months in last YTD. This is the recommendation bar. On click, we are going to show the recommendation slider. So that is under dashboard. Currently, we don't complete it. Once that is done, then we will use the same slider here also. we are going to show the status of the vendor here itself. We are going to show the savings realized. So saving realized is nothing but the potential saving for that particular application. If there is any potential saving present for that vendor, then we are going to show that amount here itself. Then here we are going to show the renewal date along with the document. We are going to show the source from where we are getting this vendor and the number of vendors which are merged to it. Here we are providing one internal search. I will come to that part, and a quick note part. So if user is suppose user is here and he thought that okay, something is off about this data, so what they can do, they directly add a message from here itself. Here it is the edit part, and this plus sign is to customize the number of fields user seeing here. Okay. So under spend detail, we will have three sub tabs. One is transaction, one is invoices, one is contracts. So these things we already have, just we are rearranging everything here. New things which are added for vendor main page is this summary details at the top, then the search part, quick message part, and the customization. Recommendation we will add after dashboard screens are finalized. So posting a quick message. So how they can post a message is they will directly click on here, this part, and they can directly add a quick note or quick message, and this will be when they click on post, it will be part of your messaging. It will go to messaging only. Now internal search. So suppose when user hit on this search icon, it is going to convert to a searchable field, and here suppose I start typing something, suppose I typed upload. So if any field present for this particular vendor which contain upload, okay, so based on keyword we need to display that. Okay, and suppose result not found, if I type something which is not present for this particular vendor, then it will say result not found. And if that particular result found, suppose auto renew is present in the system, when I hit on enter, then I would able to see the place where it is present. So suppose it auto renew is present at two places, one is at spend details, one it has workflows. Okay, so for spend details, here it is directly showing with the highlighted with orange, and workflow also contain the same thing, so here they would able to see the dot. So on click of workflow, then they would able to see if auto renew is present. Now the scenario is, suppose if someone added any comment, okay, which contain auto renew, that we are not going to provide that search. That search won't. So this search will only work for the fields added by the system, which we are seeing here. The fields only related to vendor. If someone commented something under messaging named as auto renew, those things we are not going to search from here.
So it will not search for values.
Yeah, no.
Okay, maybe like a tab header or
No, it will only search for these predefined fields, or suppose there is a custom field named as date renewal is a custom field present. So that also need to be searched, because those field will be placed here only under transaction or under vendor info. It might be added.
so only like field label it will search.
Yeah, it will search for field labels. Editing.
एक और बार देखा सर्च कैसे आएगा, मतलब ग्लोबल सर्च से आएगा?
नहीं ये ग्लोबल नहीं, इंटरनल सर्च है.
मींस कंट्रोल F.
नहीं यहाँ पे क्लिक
हाँ, ये मतलब सारे टैब्स के लिए अप्लाई होगा ये.
सारे टैब मींस इस अमेज़न वेंडर के लिए प्लस अप्लाई हो रहा है ये सर्च, ग्लोबल सर्च नहीं है।
But then it will be, I
ये
don't know.
info
कैसे
backend
करेंगे
से
ऐसा like?
हाँ
How we'll do, right? As of now, when we actually click upon it, we are making an API call. ठीक है. And I'm not sure how we'll do both from UI and backend and all. But as of now, it is like on click on tab, we are making API calls. So search again across all the tabs.
No, Varun. When I come to this page, okay. So under this search, you need to put all the fields, all the labels related to that vendor, not based on tabs. Means if I go to associated apps also, you are not going to call again the API with all those results.
No, right now you said na workflows mein you should show an orange
No,
icon
no,
if a work.
that's a scenario I was saying.
Okay, I'm not sure how it is. It needs tech discussion engineering, man. But fine, you can just
Okay,
go ahead on the functional aspect.
okay, we can discuss this part again.
Yeah.
Now edit part. So editing is same what we have in our current system. When I hit on this edit icon, I would able to see the fields in editable mode, and I can update and I can save it. Now customize the number of fields. So customize in the sense, so here you are able to see these many fields, and sometimes what happens, user don't want to see all these values. Suppose I don't want to see contract status or vendor status. It is not relevant to me. So in that scenario, what user can do, user will click on this plus icon, and they would able to see all the fields which are present here. So here we need to show all the labels which are from predefined and also the customized labels. Suppose I user added few more fields, those also need to be here only, and user can change. Suppose I don't want to see these 4 5 fields, I can unselect and I can save it. So this is at user level, not at company setting or admin level. This is at user level, this setting. Okay.
It will apply to all the vendors, right?
It will apply to all the vendors. Yeah,
Uh,
it should apply to all the vendors. If I am user, I am updated few things for this vendor, then it should reflect at all the for all the vendors for that particular user. Yeah.
Okay.
okay. And what if some required field is there?
No, there is no required.
Okay.
And like how those fields become like irrelevant to user in case.
Because see, these all fields we are providing, and we don't know if they really want to see these fields or not.
So, Rakesh, instead of this, we can keep it one setting is how many
Yeah,
fields
so
we want to display.
user to user it varies, Vishal. You are saying it should be at company level setting.
No. It's at user level.
So user setting is not there. Then we need to think
No,
about
no.
all the
I,
user level things which need to be part of that.
Rakesh, I think we discussed in the screen only put that setting icon so that user can check or uncheck relevant fields.
Yeah,
This is what I remember.
so that
Uh,
only happening here. This is the setting only.
then this should be fine, right, Vishal? Why do we need more setting than this?
Okay, but suppose for Amazon vendor, I came and selected uncheck two fields, and again go to different vendor. At that time, I realized that I want this also, and I save it. Then it means this
It should
scenario will.
reflect for all the vendors, Vishal.
Sorry.
This setting, na, this part, this one.
Yes.
This is
Yeah.
related to all the vendors, not
Okay.
specific to one vendor.
Okay.
I added that
Okay.
one. I will add that. Added that comment. I will update the text here.
Okay.
I think some field we should make it as a mandatory.
Yeah, I talked about that previously. I made few fields mandatory, but Nidhi is saying that we don't know which field need to be mandatory.
Because like user need to see that
Huh,
info if
yeah,
he has access.
I told her, but she's saying don't restrict. Why to restrict?
Okay.
Okay, so now the below part, transaction, invoices, and contracts. Okay, so these are the same tables what we are using in our system. There is no change. All the three tabs will contain the same data what we have in our current system. So with transaction, we are showing the graph and the table. For invoices, this is the table what we are showing with the columns. These are the optional columns present in the system. These are the contracts. Yeah. So this is the spend detail tab. Now for associated apps, so here we are going to show this is also the same what we have in our current system, only the table structure is changed, else it is same only. Now the messaging tab. So messaging will be same what I shown on the slider. It will be the same thing. Only thing is what Vishal were asking earlier. I will show that. Yeah. So that this one I need to know. This is one is search functionality for the messaging part only. Keyword search. Okay. This is one thing. Is this search is only related to the table. So we need to do a tech discussion for this search also. And if there are more apps, as Vishal were asking, so suppose there are more apps, so till three tabs we will show apps, three apps upfront. If there are more, then we will show five more options. Okay. So in that, user would able to see the rest of application. And suppose I selected app 5. In that scenario, this tab will be selected. Yeah. So workflow, currently for workflow there is no change. We will use the same structure what we have in our system. For workflow we are doing no changes, so that tab is not present. For vendor information, this is the detail one. We already have this one. We need to use the same. One new tab what we are adding is named as contacts. So this is the vendor contact info. These details currently present in the application screen. From there we need to take and we need to show the vendor contact details. So these are the details, and when user would be able to update this one. If they click on edit, they can directly edit the field.
Why they can edit?
Sorry.
So it's coming from database, right? Data
No,
that
these are
we
editable fields. These are editable one. Currently, also you are from app tab, you would able to update it. See this one. This is the vendor contact detail. All this, okay, and this one is the custom field which was added after that. So we are only moving these five things under vendor contact. You click on see this is editable. You can edit and you can save it.
But track is, I think it's a application level. So what if vendor has many applications?
No, no, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So,
See, this vendor contact would be suppose for vendor A, there are five apps. Okay,
hmm, okay,
for all the five apps, the vendor contact should be same only, right? Because they are associated to the same vendor.
okay.
That's why we are moving from app to vendor. From here, we are moving there.
Okay.
Yeah, this should be part of vendor only, not app.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Okay. So few UI changes which need to be done is one thing is the text size here, Pinto and Hardik. So this is a different font size. This is 16 pixel actually. So for non-editable fields, we need to update this size. This one.
Okay.
Okay. Other UI changes for the sliders. This header size need to be reduced. Currently it is very big. We need to reduce the size. This size. Any other UI change? No. So Pinto, you also need to go through the this list screen actually, vendor list screen, and check for
Mm-hmm.
the table redesign thing which are not done for these tables. Means you and Hardik both need to work on this part. Means what things are remaining for table.
Okay. Yeah. So we will connect and check what are the remaining things with this feature.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for the table design, we have to like push two changes which are what fix.
Hmm.
So yeah, maybe tomorrow we will have that what fix.
Okay. And one more thing is there under UI wherever we are showing any amount. For that, you guys need to
Just,
use Roboto Mono font
just,
family.
just that already I have in my list. Yeah,
Okay.
it will be for a table only or other places as well.
For every places, wherever we have amount, we need to use Roboto Mono family, font family.
Okay, okay, understood.